Peace and African Power is Brother Sobek. This video is called Popular Votes versus the Electoral College. This video is neither pro-voting or anti-voting. I'm just simply educating you on how the voting process works. First and foremost, presidents are not elected by popular votes, aka the people, aka you. The Electoral College is the institution that elects the president and vice president every 4 years. U.S. citizens' votes are counted in the state in which they currently reside in. For an example, Californians will either vote Democrat or Republican. The total votes, however, in California are counted, and if the majority of the votes are Democratic, then California goes to the Democrat president candidate. Real simple. However, it isn't that easy. Texas has a population of about 27 million people, and as a result, it has more influence on a presidential candidate than a state like Colorado, who only has about 5 million people. So follow me. Therefore, there had to be a way whereas more populated states could have a vote advantage over less populated states. Therefore, states had to be divided into districts that are based on population. Take Texas and Colorado, for instance. Texas has 36 districts and Colorado has 7 districts. So the number of districts matter most when it comes to a state influence on the election. Here's the formula. More population equals more districts. More districts equals more influence. The total number of electors within a state reflect its voting power, and those are the states that the presidential candidates primarily go for or campaign for. What are electors exactly? Electors are the total number of districts within a state plus the 2 state senators. Consider Texas. It has 36 districts plus the 2 state senators, which totals 38 electors. Also consider Colorado. It has 7 districts, and after you add its 2 state senators, it has a total of 9 electors. Every state is awarded 2 state senators. Okay, so just find out the districts within the state, the total districts within the state, and just add the 2 senators, and you will know how many electors represent that state. After a presidential candidate wins the popular vote in a state, they also win that state's number of electors. Obviously, large populated states are more important to candidates. The number of electors within a state is what really matters to a presidential candidate, and not so much the number of popular votes or the number of your votes. If you were to get a sum of all of the electors in the 50 states, there would be a total of 538 electors. All a candidate has to do is win more than half of the electors, which is 270 to be exact, and that candidate has won the election and has become the president-elect. So you got it? Again, U.S. citizens do not directly elect the president or vice president. Instead, these voters directly elect electors. U.S. citizens' votes basically encourage the electors to vote for their presidential nominee or candidate. State electors usually vote for the presidential candidate who the state's majority vote is favoring. However, electors aren't required to vote on behalf of the citizens' majority vote or who they want. Okay, so keep that in mind. He can vote opposite of your majority vote of that state. 87 times in the past, electors have voted against the wishes of the people who voted for them. Your electors can indeed turn against who the state majority voted for, the candidate they voted for. Your elector can say, nah, I'm going Republican. There is no constitutional provision or federal law that requires electors to vote according to the results of the popular vote in their states. So there you go. So an elector can do what he want to do. He can consider who the state wants to vote for as their presidential candidate, or he can say, nah, you guys don't know what's best for you. I do. You guys need Donald Trump. So your vote isn't as powerful or influential as you thought. Here we are looking at a map that shows which states that are locked in as either Democrat or Republican. There are only 10 states that are undecided, and you best believe the president candidates will spend most of their time and energy in these undecided states. As you can see, Democrats already have an advantage. Okay, so now you see how Florida is very, very key. If the Democrats win Florida, they will almost likely win the presidential election. You should really be on Facebook swaying the Nevadians, the Coloradians, Floridians, North Carolinas, and Ohio's, and the people who reside in PA. You should be really, really campaigning yourself that these people vote your way, because these are the deciding states. Okay, so that's just a heads up. You know, you just don't vote and that's it. You need to be out there campaigning and arguing why somebody should vote for the presidential candidate that you are voting for. But most people have no idea why they're voting for a presidential candidate other than he or she is Republican or Democrat. But anyway, I hope you were educated. Peace and African power.